Following years of being in a military cooperation agreement with the United States, Niger abruptly terminated the agreement after aligning itself with Russia and China, subsequent to France's departure. Despite this, the USA has refused to promptly relocate its 1,000 military personnel. Prior to a coup in July, Niger was a vital Western ally, prompting the US to halt security operations and aid. Mr. Bazoum, the elected president, has been detained for 8 months, yet the US aimed to sustain its partnership with Niger. So this video delves into Niger's decision to ally with Russia instead of the US. Many African nations are now questioning and criticizing the West for various diplomatic reasons. Stay tuned until the end to learn about Niger's strategic plan to remove the US from its territory and the US response. Let's not waste any time and dive right in. Currently, Niger has severed its military connections with the United States, marking a significant shift from its previous role as a key ally in West Africa. This move aligns with other Sahelian leaders who have strengthened ties with Russia following military coups. What implications will this shift have on the region? Colonel Amadou Abdrahmane, spokesperson for the junta, stated that the agreement permitted US military personnel and civilian staff to remain in Niger. Since the military coup in July 2023, Niger has strengthened its relations with Russia while severing ties with the West, resulting in the withdrawal of long-standing French troops. Last week, US officials journeyed to Niamey, the capital, to address several concerns regarding Niger's increasing alignment with Russia and Iran. They revealed that Niger is terminating its military cooperation agreement with the United States and has instructed approximately 1,000 American military personnel to depart from the country. During the meetings, American officials also expressed concern about various other matters, including whether Niger's military government was nearing an agreement to grant Iran access to Niger's extensive uranium reserves. The military regime in Niger suddenly terminated a military cooperation agreement with the United States that had been in place since 2012, following tense discussions with a US delegation regarding concerns about a possible uranium deal with Iran. On Saturday, the ruling military junta revoked a significant agreement called the Status of Forces Agreement, which permits the presence of US forces in Niger. Officials from the Biden administration are cognizant of this development and are engaging in diplomatic channels to seek clarification. The announcement of the decision, made on Saturday, followed a visit earlier in the week by senior US officials, including Assistant Secretary of State for African Affairs, Molly Fee, and US Africa Command Head General Michael Langley, to discuss democratic transition in the West African country. Abdrahmane, speaking on local television, expressed that the US delegation had not adhered to diplomatic protocol, as Niger was not informed about the delegation's composition, arrival date, or agenda. Niger deeply regrets the American delegation's apparent intention to hinder the independent Nigerian people's ability to select partners and forms of collaboration that could effectively aid them in combating terrorism. Before we delve deeper into the discussion on why the USA maintains its presence despite the Nigerian government's announcement to evacuate its territory promptly, I'm eager to hear your thoughts. Are you finding this video informative? Feel free to share your insights and questions in the comments section below. If you find the content beneficial, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. Your support enables us to reach a broader audience and provide more content that you'll enjoy. Let's continue this journey together. The US Army had around 650 personnel working in Niger in December, including troops stationed at a major drone base near Agadez, built since 2018, at a cost of $100 million, which was used to target Islamist militants in the desert, which includes the ISIS, Jnim, and groups like Al-Qaeda. Niger serves as a focal point for US operations in West and North Africa, notably housing Air Base 201, which stands as the most costly construction project ever initiated by the US government. While primarily designated for counter-terrorism efforts, its presence also facilitates significant geopolitical influence vis-à-vis countries like Russia and China. In October, the military takeover in Niger was officially labeled as a coup by Washington. However, in December, Molifi, the leading U.S. envoy for Africa, expressed the willingness of the U.S. to reinstate aid and security partnerships, provided that Niger meets specific conditions. The military said the delegation had accused Niger of partnering with Russia and Iran on secret deals, which is denied by the Nigerian government. Officials also said the U.S. had threatened action against Niger if the Niamey fails to cut ties with Russia and China. The U.S. government strongly denounces the disdainful demeanor coupled with threats of reprisal directed towards the Nigerian government and its people. A U.S. official stated that there were candid discussions held in Niamey earlier this week concerning the direction of Niger's ruling military council, known by its French acronym CNSP. He added that ongoing communication with the CNSP would continue, with updates provided as necessary. Similar to its neighboring countries, Mali and Burkina Faso, Niger has also expelled French and other European forces, while both Mali and Burkina Faso have sought support from Russia. A senior U.S. military official stated on Sunday that there have been no immediate alterations to the status of approximately 1,000 American military personnel stationed in the country. Surveillance drone flights from Airbase 201 continue to be conducted by the Pentagon to safeguard U.S. troops and to notify the Nigerian authorities of any detected imminent terrorist threats. Abdoulaye Sissoko, a columnist from Niger, penned an article on a prominent Nigerian news platform, suggesting that American policy aims not solely at combating armed groups, but also at upholding control and countering the growing influence of countries such as Russia, China, and Turkey in the region. There is no public evidence supporting the usefulness of American bases in Niger. The Biden administration officially acknowledged last October's military takeover in Niger, which occurred in July, as a coup. Despite initially sidestepping this designation due to its significant policy implications, the administration eventually concluded that efforts to reinstate Niger's democratically elected government had faltered. Consequently, aid not already restricted would be terminated, with nearly $200 million in POSED aid from August being suspended, along with approximately $442 million in trade and agricultural assistance. In Washington, the Biden administration had been cautiously optimistic that the military junta would reverse its takeover and agree to restore a democratically elected government. However, the junta's announcement signifies a significant shift in dynamics between the country and its former Western partners, reflecting an actual change in the balance of power. Despite Niger's repeated pleas for security assistance and aid over the past decade, it is now the U.S. that finds itself in a position where it must seek permission to maintain forces and bases in the country. Western governments, including the United States and France, have failed to collaborate closely with African governments and civilian populations in both economic and military development efforts. Despite the declaration, it is still unclear whether U.S. troops will be removed from their installations in Niger. Analysts speculate that this could potentially serve as a negotiation strategy by the junta to obtain further advantages from cooperation with the U.S. What are your thoughts on whether the USA will withdraw from Nigerian territory, or if it will maintain its presence through financial means? Additionally, what actions do you think Russia might take to support the Nigerian government against the USA, especially considering the increased power of Russia's president following his fifth-term election victory? We've discussed Putin's election win in a separate video, which you can watch by clicking the link provided in the description. In the meantime, feel free to share your opinions on the Nigerian statement and US actions in the comments section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on the latest geopolitical developments. Until the next video, stay tuned.